Back at the WEC here in Newark, New Jersey, campus of NJIT, where the Highlanders were able to make it 3 consecutive wins, and they defeat the Kennesaw State Owls by the final of 66-48. As we do every home game here at the WEC, it's now time for the Raff Report. Top assistant Jeff Rafferty, I'm Matt Provence, and Raff, let's get into it with the play of Zach Cooks today. You know, a guy that comes from Georgia, playing against a team that hails from Georgia, really has gotten back on track after a slow start to conference play.
Yeah, and you know what, Zach, believe it or not, it's one of the teams he struggled against. You know, we always joke about, especially when we go down to Atlanta to play Kennesaw the last couple of years, but he hasn't played great against them for whatever reason. Today, I thought he did some really good things. He had a very efficient 19 points. He did a great job of sharing the ball and keeping our offense moving, especially once they went zone, making the extra pass. And, defensively, he did a nice job on the kid Tyler Hooker, their leading scorer. They're a two-headed monster with Hooker and Jamie Lewis, now the transfer from Wake Forest. And those two guys have now, I guess, played 6 or 7 games together. Lewis didn't become eligible to mid-year. So they're getting acclimated, but when, they had 27 points between the two of them, 27 of their 48 or what have you, but it took those two 28 shots. So again, this kind of reminds me of what we discussed Thursday after the game. We gave up points to their 2 better players. I guess Thursday was just 1, but it took them a lot of shots, and the percentages were low. So that's usually a recipe for success.
There's a lot of low-lying fruit, but I'm a condiments guy. Let's talk some mayo. He had a really nice performance.
It was terrific. He's going to be Xavier Mayo's going to be a good player for us. He needs to. He plays really hard. He's a good rebounder. He defends well. He's a capable scorer around the basket, and he can also step out and make that 15 to 18-foot jump shot. He's a kid that we think's going to have a really bright future here, and he's fine. He's getting an opportunity now and playing some more minutes today. Suleiman's done a great job this year, staying out of foul trouble for the most part, and he had a little foul trouble today. But I thought Xavier's run in the first half for 5, ended up being 8 or 9 minutes, but he had a 5-minute stretch where he played because of foul trouble, and he earned the rest of the minutes because of that, and he played well.
Earning minutes, a big thing for anybody. Diego Willis has had fewer and fewer minutes, made a couple contributions early on defensively in the first half, then caught fire.
Yep.
Good to see a guy, when given an opportunity, more of an opportunity, able to have an impact on the game like he did today.
No question. He's got an ability to score the ball, Diego does. He's a rhythm shooter, a streaky shooter. When he gets going and hits 1 or 2, then he's dangerous, and you got to guard him. And he's got an ability to pass the ball as well. I think Diego's really improved on the defensive end this season, and I'm glad that he took advantage of the opportunity today and really capitalized on that.
I know we talked about this Thursday, but again, I got to bring up the defense. Now, the last 7 games, when you do the math, opponents are being held under 60 points per game at 59.9, a 39% shooting percentage, 28% from deep. Why?
Those are pretty good numbers. I didn't realize they were that good, but that's good. That's really good. That means we're getting better at that end. I think our younger guys are becoming much better positionally on the defensive end, and I think we have a couple capable guys that are good defensive players and like that role and have stepped up in that role. And the other thing we're doing, we're rebounding the ball well, so we're holding teams to less opportunities, and I think that plays into it as well.
Final question for you, and I don't want to make it an overstatement, but the win against North Florida, kind of a thing that you needed to have happen the way things had been going, arguably, right?
Yeah.
So what is it now? Why has the team been able to respond like they've been able to respond? In your eyes, how important was that win, and what's the cause of it, or the result of that, I should say?
I tell you what, it's a funny business, man. And last Saturday at this time, we're down in Florida. We're coming off a loss. We're 0-2. We have a 5 o'clock tip at North Florida, who's one of the toughest teams to beat at their place. Things were bleak, but we gave. It's a resilient group, man. These young guys it's a resilient group, and all it takes is a little bit of something positive, and then momentum's a son of a gun. So you get a good road win. We came back. I said it to you last week. We've been practicing a lot better since Christmas, and we've gotten a little bit healthier, and we've had some good practices, and I finally started to see some improvement in early January. The results just weren't happening yet. and then after Christmas we played UConn, and then you played Liberty. So those are two tough games. You go to Jacksonville, you lose one, but then bounce back and beat North Florida. I thought opened some things up. I think obviously San Antonio's night was historic, but them playing zone gave us a little bit of confidence. And I think offensively this week we've had a much better week, and hopefully we can continue to defend and rebound, and guys can continue to step up and make shots.
Let's hope so. Exciting 2-game trip to Florida. Of course, I have to mention what season debut for Patrick Rafferty. What, a handful of rebounds off the bench?
Yep, he had a decent game and a win on Thursday night. So happy to have him back, and he's happy to be back.
Well,
so.
I'm sure his coach is too. We're happy to have this coach here with us. Again, Raff, great job today. Enjoy Florida. Come back with a couple of wins, and thanks for your time.
Terrific. Thank you.
All right, that is top assistant Jeff Rafferty. I'm Matt Provence. This is the Raff Report.